You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. Whoa, you've hid your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings and rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Electric Boogaloo.
You see the truth behind the veil, and you know that they're just looking for attention. Oh, you don't let the ruthlessness prevail. Oh, it's time now, light your fires for ascension. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings and rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings and rise from the ashes.
Bittersweet and I'm walking slow. Sensitive, feel the afterglow. Looking for things that I can't control. Fear from my past cause it always shows. Do I wanna try? Can I let it go? Running from the past, wanting to be sure. Chaos in my mind, constant deja vu. But every time it comes back to you. Whoa, I'm still falling. Whoa, but it tastes bittersweet. Whoa, I keep on falling. Whoa, I like the taste of it. Whoa.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Game Week 3 deadline stream. So good to have you with us in the stream, guys. We're going to be talking about plenty of stuff coming to the Game Week deadline, which is in just 2.5 hours. So gassed to have Game Week 3 just around the corner. Plenty to talk about as well with Ronaldo coming into FPL. That is absolutely huge news, guys. Morning everyone, morning Dave, morning Trovlin, morning Ishmael. How's it going, guys? Dave says Antonio captain, Bruno vice. Yeah, not a bad call. I reckon we've gone with Antonio as our captain for this game week and Bruno Fernandes as our vice captain. Antonio's been on fire, 29 points in 2 weeks. What an absolute beast. And he's playing at home to Crystal Palace as well. It's very nice. Out Tony -4 in Adam Armstrong. I think I'd hold on to Tony for a little bit, to be honest. I think give him another chance in the next couple of weeks to prove himself. He's taken plenty of shots. Good evening, it's about 3 PM in Malaysia. Get hyper, mate. Well, welcome from Malaysia as well. We used to live in Singapore, so that's fairly close to Malaysia. So, yeah, I guess that Prem's not a very, very nice time for you guys, especially the early games as well. But you guys, if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat as well. But there's plenty to talk about in terms of the team here. So as you can see, this is the squad at the moment. Goalkeepers Sanchez, Begovic, Veltman sitting there with 4.4 million. He has gone down 0.1, which is a bit disappointing. He is expected back game week 4, where he faces Brentford away, which is a nice fixture, so I might hold him for that fixture. And also team news is, if we have a look at his starting lineup, here it is at the moment. Amati should be starting, as the latest team news with Vestigator is that he has been ruled out of the team. Lee Patel says, should I use my wildcard to fit in Lukaku? I think I'd probably hold on to the wildcard at the moment. I think I bring in Lukaku game week 7. I just hold on to the wild card at the moment, see what's happening over the next few days, and then make the decision from there to see what everyone else is doing. Get hyper, it's just 30 minutes from my place to Singapore. Yeah, you can literally drive across the border. It's like, from one side of Singapore to the other, it's like a 30-minute drive. It's insane. It's so good. Captain pick this week, Son, Antonio, Benrahma, Salah, Bruno. We've gone with Antonio, but there's so many good options this week in terms of captaincy. I hear on all the other platforms nearly everyone ripping their teams up to get a Ronaldo in. Why should I only take 3 moves to get him in? Yeah, so the good thing is we've actually set up 2 free transfers this week. So we haven't actually made a single transfer this game week, which I'm liking a lot at the moment because these 2 free transfers will definitely allow us to make a nice, potentially 3 transfer player for a -4 hit to bring in Ronaldo. Raya says, good morning everybody, what do you think, Soufal or Dyer is a better choice? For this week, I think Soufal against Crystal Palace at home is a great choice, and he does have attacking potential as well, so maybe Vladimir Soufal. Dave says Soufal as well, yeah, not a bad call. So yeah, we've actually saved up, we haven't made a transfer yet this week, so we're going to save up 2 free transfers, and I'll show you really quickly what we're thinking, and we can go over this more as we get further into the stream, but there's going to be a nice little transfer plan that we're looking to make to bring Cristiano Ronaldo. Replace Tsimikas for who? I think potentially Duffy or Livramento look to be the 2 best options at 4.1 at the moment. I think Duffy, according to Fantasy Football Fix, Duffy is going to be going up in price tomorrow. He's already reached 95% of his threshold to go up in price, and he's going up at 1% per hour. So he's definitely going to be going up to 4.2 tomorrow. So if you want to get him in, then he could be a nice choice. Livramento's price rise, I'm not too sure when that's going to happen. It should be in the next 2 days, but it looks like Duffy's price is going to go up before him. Antonio captain and Ings vice. Yep, not a bad choice. I think we've gone with Antonio as our captain for this week and Fernandes as the vice captain. How much do you expect Ronaldo to be priced at? And is he going to be a midfield or a striker? I think Ronaldo will definitely be a forward. There's no way he's going to be a midfielder. He's going to be playing in that striker role. He's not going to be left wing or right wing. He's going to be slapped in striker. So he definitely will be a forward. And I think for price, I'm guessing 12.5 million should be his price. I think that's probably the best price for Ronaldo. To get a forward in a Manchester United team, it's 100% at least 12 to 12.5. But I do think it's going to be 12.5. DCL will be a good shout. Yeah, absolutely. Once Danny Ings fixtures swing, then I think DCL is going to be a great option. Do I play Tony or Trent Alexander-Arnold? That's a very tough decision. Alexander-Arnold's been great recently for Liverpool, so maybe Alexander-Arnold. Who do you think Ronaldo's position price will be? As I touched on before, I think he's going to be a 12.5 forward. Also, guys, let me know what you think Ronaldo's position and price is going to be, but I'm saying 12.54. Let me know what you guys think. In 2 to 3 weeks, templates are going to be ripped up, and FPL will get blown wide open with Kane, Lukaku, Ronaldo, KDB, Salah, Bruno, etc. Yes, there's plenty to talk about in this stream in terms of which premium options to go for. And you've even left out Son there as well. There's so many great options. And yes, there's going to be a lot of wildcards being played coming into Game Week 4, 100%. It's probably going to be the most wildcard a week next week, I'm assuming. I will change Bruno to a cheap midfielder to get Ronaldo, and a high potential Ronaldo would do penalty kicks. Yes, I do think Ronaldo will be on penalties compared to Bruno Fernandes, so I think that makes Ronaldo so much better. You have to pay the 0.4 more. I think Fernandes is now 12.1 million, so you definitely got to pay the 0.4 more for the penalties. I don't have Antonio, so I have a slight captain dilemma. I have Rafinha, Gundogan, Benrahma, Dele, Lukaku, or DCL as options. I'm thinking Benrahma might not be a bad choice. Seems most people also going 12.5. Thanks for your answer. No worries, Bernardino. I think 12.5 is going to be the right price for Cristiano Ronaldo. That's the price that I'll be willing to pay. So I'll just show you guys some transfer plans. We do have 2 free transfers coming into Game Week 4. So at the moment, it's going to be Fernandes. Actually, no, I'll hold on Fernandes at the minute. Mahrez is going to be gone, and Ings is going to be gone, because I'm not too sure about Mahrez starting minutes after Arsenal at home. I'm hoping that he starts, since De Bruyne has just been ruled out for Man City, and he did get benched last game week, so he is due to come back into the team. So I think Mahrez has got to be gone, and his price is due to go down. So instead of Mahrez, we'll bring in Benrahma, and his price should be going up tomorrow as well. So I think we can make the 0.2 million increase in team value, which would be nice. Then Danny Ings at 8 million. I'm thinking about moving him on to the likes of Calvert-Lewin. He's been in form recently, and he's still got very nice fixtures up until, I believe, fairly late. I guess up until Game Week 11, he's only got 1 fixture with an FPL over 3, so that's just a great choice. Bringing Calvert-Lewin and striker. That is going to be the most likely the team for Game Week 4, because Fernandes at Newcastle at home, I don't really want to transfer out Fernandes just to get a Ronaldo for 1 week against Newcastle at home and then get rid of Fernandes. I might as well just keep him for that Newcastle at home fixture. Then switch to Fernandes to Ronaldo in Game Week 5. So that's probably going to be here the Game Week 4 team at the minute, with Benrahma in and Calvert-Lewin in. That means we have 2.5 in the bank. That'll all be a free transfers. No extra hits have to be taken there. Then we go the week after that. We take a -4, get rid of Obafemi and Fernandes. Or we could bring in Ronaldo in Game Week 4 instead, depending on price changes and everything, whether he's going to be going up or Fernandes is going to be going down. But it looks to be that out of all the 6 mil options, I think Rafinha should be a very nice choice. 6.5 mil, he's got a great fixture swing at Game Week 5. So this is, imagining we do bring in Rafinha Game Week 5. That's why we're bringing him in, because I don't want to bring in Fernandes. So I don't want to get rid of Fernandes Game Week 4 to bring in Rafinha Game Week 4, because he's facing Liverpool at home. Son for Salah or Wilson for Tony. I would go for Son for Salah or Wilson for Tony. Probably Wilson for Tony. So bring in Rafinha Game Week 4 or Game Week 5. Probably Game Week 5. We have 12.5 in the bank. And then we can bring in Ronaldo. Assuming Ronaldo will be 12.5. I'm just going to put in Kane in there just to show. Pretend Kane is Cristiano Ronaldo. We have 0 in the bank, because Kane is only 12.3. That's Ronaldo. And that's probably going to be the team that we go for Game Week 5. That's probably going to be the Game Week 5 team, imagining Kane is Cristiano Ronaldo. And I think that's a nice transfer plan that we can go for to capitalise on price changes, fixture changes, and Ronaldo coming into the team. But then obviously there is the discussion of, do we want Lukaku as well? We can go for the triple premium options. In which case we could drop Barnes down, or we could drop Luke Shaw down maybe, depending on how Barnes goes. Just thinking here, I don't know if we're going to be able to afford another premium option if we don't go for the minimum, like a minimum price midfielder. Bringing in Mbuemo instead of Barnes. This is just testing out how it's going to be going. That means we have 1.6 in the bank. If we wanted to, we could not bring in Calvert-Lewin and just go straight to Lukaku, 9.8. So we still need to free up a lot of money around the squad. So it is looking unlikely that we can go for a triple premium option, but we could drop to 3 midfielders or drop to 3 defenders and then try and go from there. I think the fact Lukaku and Ronaldo has both now been thrown in the mix, I think it will help the game. So many people are playing the template at the moment, big decisions ahead. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people are just going the same team. I'm seeing a lot of people that are up the top ranks have a very similar team to everyone else, and it's very template. So I think with a lot more premium options, it's going to make decisions a lot more tricky, and it should see a lot more different teams as well, which is nice. Ronaldo's price will be fixed for the first 7 days at least. Cannot change until after the first deadline, I believe. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So depending on how he goes, if he plays in Game Week 4, we'll see how he goes in Game Week 4. So that's a good point, actually. I have Kane, Vardy, and Antonio up front this week. Looking to captain Vardy versus Norwich. Thoughts? Yeah, I think that's a great fixture. I think Vardy could be doing well. He's had a lot of shots so far, Vardy, so it could be nice option as well for Leicester. But yeah, that's the plan at the moment. We'll bring it back in Barnes. Can leave Ings there if we want to, but it looks like it's going to be Mahrez down to Benrahma and then Obafemi up to Kane, and we can have the 3 striker formation and have the 2 premiums, which I think does allow me more flexibility. Because when Veltman comes back, I'll have 4 or 5 defenders that can play, 4 midfielders that can play, and 3 forwards that can play, which does allow for that extra bench slot to be taken up nicely. So that is what we're thinking at the moment, and this is how the team is going to be lining up for Game Week 4. We've gone with Ings and Antonio up top, Salah and Fernandes as the 2 premiums, Mahrez and Barnes as the 2 other midfielders. They've got nice fixtures this week, depending on whether Mahrez starts against Arsenal. I'm really hoping he can start tonight because De Bruyne has just been ruled out. So I think if he can start against Arsenal at home, that could be another very high scoring game for Man City. 4-nails on the bench of Basuma. 100% bench Basuma and start 4-nails. Who to bench, Mahrez or Adam Armstrong? I'd probably bench Armstrong because if Mahrez doesn't play, then Armstrong will just come on anyway. But I think Mahrez has high points potential. I've got Bamford, Antonio, DCL. I'm captaining Antonio, Bruno, Vice. Yeah, I think that's a good call. I think that's probably the right decision this week. I think Antonio has got such a great fixture and he's been in such good form. You just can't not have him. I'll actually have a look here on the Fantasy Football Fix predicted points for Game Week 3. I'll tell you who they've got to be the highest predicted players. Antonio is predicted 5.9 points. He's the highest predicted player for Game Week 3. So it would make sense to captain him. Vardy at 5.8, Salah 5.6, Barnes 5.6, Kane 5.5, Fernandes 5.4. So I do think Antonio looks to be the best captaincy option, and then put Fernandes on vice captain. I really am hoping Harvey Barnes can do something here against Norwich away, because it looks to be the last week I'm going to have him in. Thanks for the amazing content at FPL Fair. Cheers, Alien Sports, mate. Appreciate that. Gundo dropped to 7.3 mil. Am I still holding him? Am I making a mistake holding him? I'm assuming, is he full fitness to play this week? If he is, then he may get a start, because De Bruyne is out of the team for Man City, has been ruled out this week, so Gundogan could be a good option. Maybe just hold on to him if you think he's going to start, because De Bruyne is not going to be starting, so maybe hold on to him one more week. Do you think Greenwood will get another start? That's the question. I don't think he... It's harsh not getting him another start. He will play obviously Game Week 3. Depending on whether Ronaldo is ready for Game Week 4 or not, we'll have to wait and see. So I just recommend holding the transfers at the moment to see what happens with Greenwood, because I know a lot of people do have Greenwood. So if Ronaldo is ready to go Game Week 4, it's going to be Ronaldo striker. Most likely Sancho should be ready to start in right wing. If not, that's probably where Greenwood's going to play. Left wing, I'm not sure who's going to play. In left wing, maybe Pogba plays left wing, but I'm not sure. Bruno Fernandes, obviously middle of the park, but if Sancho is ready to start and if Ronaldo is ready to start, I'm not sure Greenwood's going to be getting minutes. Is Ramsdale a good transfer in? Has his price been released? It has 4.5. That's not a bad price. I actually didn't look too much into Ramsdale because I thought Leno was going to be starting. If Ramsdale is the preferred keeper for Arsenal, then 100% is a great option. To get a 4.5 mil keeper in an Arsenal defence, with these fixtures, look at those fixtures from Game Week 4 to Game Week 11. Definitely think that could be a great choice if he is starting. But I do think... Someone let me know who's going to be the preferred option in goals for Arsenal. Is it going to be Leno or is it going to be Ramsdale? Is it okay to use Ruben Dias against Arsenal fixture? Yeah, 100%. I think Arsenal have not made a great start to the season at all, to be honest, and I don't know if they're going to be scoring. So I think Man City defence is a nice shout this week. Thoughts, Benrahma? Yeah, 100%. We're going to be looking to bring in Benrahma next week. I can almost guarantee that the next transfer that we make is Mahrez out and Benrahma in. So we'll just do that. This is what the team is going to look like in Game Week 4. Benrahma is going to be coming in for Mahrez, 100%. And his price is due to go up fairly soon. I'm starting Pereira, Shaw, Cresswell, Dyer. Is it a good option to bench Van Dijk? Obviously, it's not ideal benching a Liverpool defender. It's a very strong defence. You've got 5 all-starting defenders. You've probably got the best 4 starting defenders there, so I guess you can get away with it, but it's not ideal. Do I keep Tony? Yeah, I'll probably keep him for another week, back him in, see how he goes. He recorded 5 shots in Game Week 2, which is a lot. So I think he's had a couple of warm games to the Prem. Give him a chance here, see how he goes. Is Ronaldo match fit yet? Did he have a pre-season with Juve? I'm not sure if Ronaldo's going to be fit, ready to go straight away in Game Week 4, but he is one of the fittest athletes on the planet, so I wouldn't be surprised. We'll have to see more news on that, to be honest. It's hard to judge at the moment. You can't spend 30 mil on a keeper for the bench. Not sure what that's about. I've got Mahrez stuck in my team for this week. Do you think he'll start? I'm hoping that he starts, to be honest. I'm really hoping that he starts. He got benched Game Week 2. They're versing a decent team, and he did play against the Spurs when it was a decent team, so I am hoping that he does. And especially since De Bruyne is out as well, I think he should start. Is 7 transfers for Wildcard good? Yeah, 100%. I think the threshold for a Wildcard is above 5 transfers to the team. Is generally the number that I like, because you can spend 5 transfers over 2 weeks and take minus 8 or 12, which is not ideal. So anything above that is 100% a good call. How about Lukaku captaincy? Yeah, not a bad shout. I guess Liverpool away is a tricky fixture, but he recorded 8 shots in his first match, which is a great underlying stat. You have 109 on FPL points. That is incredible, mate. Well done. Which country are you from, and how many people involved in your channel? We are from Australia, and we have 2 people involved. We have an editor, and we have me, who does the speaking and team management. Thoughts on Rafinha? I think he's going to be a great choice. I think he's finally got his first goal of the season. It's nice to see. It was a very nice finish. And Leeds fixtures are looking very nice in the future. I am looking to bring in Rafinha, to get rid of Fernandes, bring in Rafinha. So, remove Fernandes, remove Obafemi. It's probably going to be Rafinha in for Fernandes, and then Ronaldo in for Obafemi. That's probably going to be the transfers that we do. So I think Rafinha is going to be a great choice. Tony or Benrahma? I think Benrahma. The 30 mil for a keeper comment was about Leonard Ramsdale comment. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough then, I guess. You're not going to spend 30 mil on a keeper not to start. That is true. That is true. I've wildcarded to bring in Ronaldo for next week. Jordan Gunn. That's obviously premature. You're obviously backing yourself in there. I'd personally wait and see, but I can see why. The bang video for that. Cheers, Dave. Thank you so much, mate. 7 transfers can help me avoid international break injuries and get Ronaldo and setting up to Game Week 7. Well, yeah, then that's fair enough. It's not a bad play. Dennis or Obafemi? Probably Dennis, mate, to be honest. If you're going to transfer one of them in, then just transfer in Obafemi, because I don't really want to transfer in Dennis at 5 mil as a starting option. Are you bringing in Duffy for Tsimikas? We don't have Tsimikas in the team, so we're not going to be bringing in anyone at the moment. Obviously, Veltman's not going to play this week, but he's going to be back 11th of September, which is a nice fixture. Game Week 4, he faces Brentford away, which is a nice one. Leicester at home, probably won't start. Crystal Palace away, Arsenal home, and Norwich away. I'll probably start him for all those 3 matches as well. So despite going down 0.1 in value, I still think he's going to be a nice option over the next few weeks. What are wildcard price rise situations? In terms of, if you wildcard, do you get the price value to go up? Yes, you do. You get all the value that you've built up in plays to increase when you wildcard. It's not like free hit in that sense. Heard Veltman right wing back. Starting or playing there? I've already played my wildcard. Should I keep Obafemi, Livramento, Mahrez and Fernandez, or transfer in Shaw, Damari Gray and the best 6 mil option to get Kane with 0.2 left over to get Ronaldo at 12.5? Yes, I'd do the second option, I think. Calvert-Lewin for captain. That's a differential punt. He's playing Brighton, which is... I don't underestimate Brighton's defence. Brighton have a decent defence. They had one of the lowest expected goals conceded last year, so it is a bit tricky. Who have we captained? This is how the team's going to be lining up for game week 3 at the moment. It's going to be Antonio on captaincy. It is looking like a nice team on paper. Amati is going to be starting because Vestergaard's out, which is a good value to have a 4 million defender playing against Norwich. Sofal or Simicast this week. I'd probably go for Sofal. How long will you keep Ings for? I'm probably going to get rid of him after game week 3. So for game week 4 onwards, I'm probably going to bring in Dominic Calvert-Lewin. That's probably the best transfer play. Calvert-Lewin is obviously 0.2 million more than Danny Ings, but to afford that, we will just downgrade Mahrez to Benrahma. Kane or Antonio captain? That's actually a tough decision. If you have Kane or Antonio, it's a very tough decision to decide. I guess Antonio on form, it's hard to tell with Kane because he hasn't played yet, but he definitely has the capability to get a haul. Son or Antonio captain? Probably, it's such a difficult decision to go Spurs attacker or Antonio, but I'm liking Antonio at the moment. Son for vice then, 100%. If you captain Antonio, then Son's a good vice. My team looks perfect. I have nothing to do, but I have 2 free transfers. Should I just do Simicast to Duffy just to make 1 transfer? Yeah, definitely don't waste the transfer. 100%. If you have the free transfers available, then you have to use 1. So I think Duffy is probably the right option to bring in because his price, according to Fantasy Football Fix, his price will be going up tomorrow. So when tomorrow's price was to come out, Duffy will go up to 4.2. Do I captain Antonio or Son? We've gone with Antonio. If we had Son on the team, I'd probably still captain Antonio. Wildcard is thanks. No worries, mate. Well, is it worth it to transfer in Kane this game week? It's not a bad play. If you have transfers available to bring in, I wouldn't bring it in for a hit or anything, but if it's a free transfer, not a bad idea because you can easily rotate him to Ronaldo in the future. Keep or sell Mahrez, and who would you replace him with? I have Rafinha and Benrahma. Wow, that's a nice midfield. So, obviously we don't have Rafinha or Benrahma, but we have Mahrez. We're definitely going to keep Mahrez for this week and then downgrade him in game week 4. If I could downgrade him to any player apart from Rafinha or Benrahma, it would probably be Sarr or Barnes potentially, but probably not Barnes. Will Greenwood play? This week Greenwood will play, but I'm not sure about the future. Can you please do a poll for wildcard? Yeah, sure. We'll put out a poll for wildcard, whether you guys are going to be using your wildcard in the future or immediately. Amati or Ayling, I'd probably go, in terms of starting, I'd start Amati this week because Amati will be starting for Leicester. If you're buying one of them, then I'd buy Ayling. That's probably the right choice. Why are there red and green colours in fixtures? So it's essentially based on the FGR. It's a fixture rating. So as you can see, the number in the middle indicates the difficulty of the fixture. If it's green, it's an easy fixture. If it's red, it's a difficult fixture. Salah will get a price drop today. Let's have a look. Oh, have a look at Fix when Fix predicts him to get a price drop. How many managers have actually transferred out Salah so far? I don't think Salah's going to be getting a price drop. Fix say he won't be getting a price drop, so I wouldn't be too sure that he's going to get a price drop. Why are people transferring out Salah? I'm not sure, to be honest. I guess to bring in Ronaldo and there's so many premium options. But Salah's not going to be going on international duty, so I don't think he's going to be missing games. Check FPL statistics. Well, yeah, obviously different websites are going to have different price predictions. We'll have to see. Generally, Fix is very good at predicting prices. They have a 98% price rise accuracy, so I'm backing them in, but I can see why a lot of other FPL statistics have different price rises. Best mid for game week 4 and 5 under 7 mil. Probably Benrahma. Probably Benrahma. I think Salah will outperform Ronaldo. Yeah, well, it's going to be tough to see how Ronaldo can accommodate back into the Premier League. I think he's going to be a great option. But yeah, don't forget about Salah being one of the best FPL options over the past 3 or 4 seasons. He's been unreal. He's been so good. So I wouldn't be getting rid of Salah to bring in Ronaldo necessarily. Lukaku or Kane, I didn't hear earlier. I'd probably bring in Lukaku, I guess. It's hard to tell with Kane. I'm assuming he's going to be getting minutes, and Spurs have nice fixtures. If I would transfer in Lukaku, I'd probably bring him in game week 7. That'd be the time I transfer him in. What's your opinion on Willock for FPL? It might not be a bad option. We'll have to see. Obviously, he had an incredible end to last season. I don't know if he can recreate those kind of numbers, but it's just a bit of a wait and see for him at the moment. Which one is the best transfer? Dennis, Kucho, or Armstrong? I think Armstrong's probably the best transfer out of all those. Will Ronaldo be a mid or a forward? I definitely think Ronaldo's going to be a forward. Will Calvert-Lewin play? I'm assuming he'll play. I haven't heard anything about an injury with Calvert-Lewin. If anyone has any injury news on Calvert-Lewin, then let me know. But I haven't heard anything that he's not going to be playing. He has toe injury. I'm not sure. Is that as of game week 4? Getting rid of Bruno for Ronaldo makes sense though. Yeah, 100%. I think Ronaldo will be a better option than Bruno Fernandes now. Fernandes obviously gets lots of points from penalties, and Ronaldo's taking the pens off him. So that's the best asset that Ronaldo's going to bring for his price. Should I transfer out Tsimikas? If you have a free transfer, if you have 2 free transfers, then I'd transfer him out. I don't think his price is necessarily going to go down soon, but I'd probably get rid of him if you're not wildcarding. For the game week 4 and 5 mil or 7 mil, I got Benrahma and Rafinha. Yeah, I think those are probably the 2 best options. Can I captain Lukaku instead of Fernandes? What do you think? Yeah, if you're back in Lukaku, I don't think it's necessarily a bad captaincy shout. Couldn't tell you otherwise, to be honest. Is a wildcard a good option at game week 5 or 7? We'll have to see. It's such a wait and see at the moment. I think a lot of people are going to use it game week 5. But the way I've set the tempo at the moment, I'm thinking game week 7, or maybe not even at all. Ronaldo price prediction, probably 12.5 million. I think is going to be the right price for Cristiano Ronaldo. I need 2 transfers to bring in Benrahma. Should I do it now, or just skip 2 transfers for the next game week? It's tough. We could bring in Benrahma this week if we wanted to. We could have got rid of Barnes to bring in Benrahma. We could have got rid of Mahrez to bring in Benrahma. But we're probably going to bring him in game week 4. And have those 2 free transfers could be nice with Ronaldo coming into the Premier League, obviously. Do you think Robertson's going to start tonight? Yeah, it looks like he's going to start. Robertson said he's ready to play, and obviously Klopp will be preferring the best defensive option against Chelsea, who are a nice attacking outfit. So I think Robertson is going to play. How many points do you expect this game week? I always hope for 60 plus every week. With Antonio on captain, hopefully slightly more if he can haul again. That'd be nice. What are your transfer plans? I've seen you have Ings, Barnes, and Mahrez. Fixtures form and pet roulette turning into a problem for you. No, yes, 100%. So here's the transfer plan. Mahrez gone, Ings gone, and we're going to be bringing in Benrahma and DCL is probably going to be the option we go for. So the screen's lagging a bit. So it's going to be Benrahma and Calvert-Lewin are going to be the 2 free transfers that we use for game week 4. And then after that, we can get rid of Fernandes and Obafemi, and we can bring in Rafinha and Ronaldo. That's probably going to be the transfer plan. Obviously, Barnes has a fixture turn as well. We could get rid of him. We could bring in any 6 mil midfielder. Sarr looks to be a nice option. There's so many different players at 6 mil which are nice, but we'll just have to see how everyone goes in game week 3 and 4 and then go from there. But this is probably going to be the team for game week 4. Calvert-Lewin is 75% chance of playing. Do you think you'll start? Do you think Barnes will start? I do think Barnes will start. I don't think there's any reason for him not to start. Which defender to use for game week 3? Duffy or Pinnock? Because I don't think Sobrani can win against Everton. What do you think? Yeah, if I could go for any option, I'd go for Duffy because he offers more attacking potential than Pinnock. he gets a lot of headers in the box. I think he's had 7 shots so far, which is the most for defenders. So I think Duffy is a good option. Doesn't matter if I have 2 mil in the bank, and is that a bad move? No, because I don't necessarily think so. It's good to have money in the bank, especially with Ronaldo there. We're going to have 2.5 million in the bank personally after Game Week 4. This is going to be the Game Week 4 team. We'll have 2.5 in the bank. We can make one more additional transfer if we want to for a -4 hit. But I don't think necessarily having a lot of money in the bank is bad, especially if you want to make upgrades. Also, any decent mid-range 6.5 to 7.5 Ronaldo coming in after the international break. I think Benrahma is a good choice. Rafinha is a good choice. Sarr had made a nice start in Game Week 1. Obviously, he was a bit off Game Week 2. It's more of a wait and see with those, but I think Benrahma and Rafinha are leading the way in that price. Is Bergvine a good pick? I'm not sure he's going to be a good pick now with Kane coming back into the team, because I think Son's just going to take up that wing spot, and I think Bergvine's going to drop to the bench. Bruno and Tony out, Son and Diesel in. What's your opinion? Yeah, that's not bad. That's not a bad transfer plan, I think. Obviously, Son's got nice short-term fixtures, and it does later free up money to potentially bring in Ronaldo if you get rid of Fernandes. Duffy or Livramento for long-term. For long-term, Duffy's not going to be getting that many more minutes after the next 3 or 4 weeks. But you're not going to... I guess once you wildcard, you can then fix up the defense. So you probably want to get a budget defender that has a decent chance of getting points in the upcoming weeks. So maybe Duffy. Should I keep Rudiger and TAA? Both. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily want to get rid of either of them, to be honest. Who's a good pick for 6.1 mil? Let's have a look. So look at it. Price. Sorry, this is very laggy at the moment. 6.1. I'm assuming you mean midfielders. I guess for now. I wouldn't say any of those options there. I think probably Sarr is looking like a nice option. Demarai Gray could be good. El Ghazi, if he keeps getting minutes, could be nice because he should be on penalties, but they have a fixture swing. So I'd probably say Sarr is the best option there for 6.1 or less. Thoughts on Brentford's second striker since he's a mid on FPL? Sorry for asking too many questions. No worries. Yeah, I think probably Sarr or Mbeumo are going to be good options. Obviously, Sarr's got on the board. Mbeumo hasn't got his first returns of the season, but he is looking likely. Also, Adama Traore is definitely one to have on the watch list. Obviously, his finishing is below average, but every other aspect of his game he's elite in. So if he can start putting in his chances, then Adama Traore could be a great differential choice, because Wolves' fixtures are very nice from Game Week 4 for a while. Game Week 4, 5, 6, 7, all good. 8, 9. Everton at home's not bad. Crystal Palace, West Ham, Norwich, Burnley. So their fixtures are decent up until Game Week 14. So if he can start putting in his chances, then he could be a nice option as well. Is captaining Luke Shaw bad? I wouldn't captain him against Wolves away, personally. Is it worth to give Tony another chance? Yeah, 100% I think so. I think Antonio, you could definitely give another chance. He had a lot of shots last week, and it's just a matter of time for him, I reckon. Is it too risky to captain Rafinha? Probably. It probably is a bit too risky to captain Rafinha. There's a lot of other good options this week. Yeah, Antonio, Ings, Salah and Fernandes are always good options, but they have tricky fixtures. So maybe one of those options. Sarr for long term. Yeah, Sarr's got good fixtures, actually. If you just keep dripping in those returns, he's got some very nice fixtures coming up. In terms of like the next 10 weeks, essentially, they're nice. DCL is injured. I think he's still going to play. I haven't heard any information that he's not going to play. If anyone has any other injury news with DCL, let me know. I'm going Jimenez over DCL, and should I get Adama or Harrison? I wouldn't necessarily go for Jimenez over DCL. I'd probably go for Adama as the Wolves' attacking asset. Because Jimenez, his positioning has been very shallow. He hasn't been taking as many shots as Adama, so I'd probably go for Adama as the Wolves' asset. And I wouldn't go double up on the Wolves' attack because I don't score that many goals. Who are your transfers this week? We didn't make any transfers this week. So we've got 2 free transfers for Game Week 4, which I'm definitely liking at the moment because it allows for so much flexibility with Ronaldo coming in. So I'm very happy that we've made the 2 free transfers available to us. Thoughts on Gabriel Jesus? Worth keeping or sell? If you have him in the team, then maybe just keep him for this week. It's hard to tell with City, I guess. I'll probably be selling him after this week. Can you sub off a player for another player because they're playing sooner than the other one? No, it's not like UCL Fantasy. Your team is your team at the deadline. So in exactly 1 hour and 48 minutes, your team stays the same. Your bench stays the same for the whole game week. Is it okay if I transfer Tony to Adam Armstrong? I'll probably hold on to Tony for another week. I wouldn't be going for Adam Armstrong straight away. Yes, DCL is injured. He is injured, but is he going to be playing? That's the question. Duffy or Livramento over Simicast? I'd probably go for Duffy over Simicast if I could bring in any 4-mil defender. Also, Livramento's a good choice as well. He's probably more likely to play more minutes in the long term. How about Bamford for Game Week 3? Switch to Jimenez in Game Week 5. Or Game Week 4. Game Week 5. That's not a bad play, I guess. I guess Bamford's fixtures also go well in Game Week 5, so I wouldn't necessarily bring in Jimenez instead of Bamford. I'd probably hold on to Bamford. What do you think about Jack Grealish and Timo Pukki? I think both of them aren't the best options, to be honest. James or Simicast? Is Simicast even playing? I don't think Simicast is going to play, so I think Reece James is probably the better option. Captain Kane or Antonio? I'd probably captain Antonio because we haven't really seen how Kane's gone so far. I do expect him to get a return, but I think Antonio's been on absolute fire recently. And he's super motivated, being the West Ham top scorer. Are my strikers okay? I've got Ings and Antonio up front. Yeah, we've got Ings and Antonio up front as well. I think they're good strikers. I'll probably move on Ings after Game Week 4. Kane hat-trick. Yeah, well, watch Kane come in and play one game and score an absolute haul. Like, he has the ability to do that. He's one of the best strikers in the world, so he knows what he's doing. But since we just don't know much about him, I'd probably just stick to Antonio. Everton wait on Calvert-Lewin injury. I'll have a look. I'll have a look at this article on Rafa Benitez. I'm not too sure if Calvert-Lewin's going to be ruled out. It's more of a wait and see at the moment. It's going to be hard to tell. I have him starting on the pitch. And if he doesn't play, then he doesn't play. Cancelo or Shaw, Game Week 4 onwards? I'll probably go for Luke Shaw because Cancelo, I'm not too sure about his 30 minutes. Sofal or Cresswell? Probably Sofal. I like Sofal personally. He's offered better underlying numbers in an attacking sense recently, so that's good. Mahrez or Rafinha? Probably Rafinha. What do you think for Antonio Bamford or DCL together for Game Week 3? Yeah, that's a nice choice, mate. Antonio Bamford and DCL are a good strike force. Is Luke Thomas a good option? He has been a good option so far, but I think Leicester will have players coming out from injury. I'm not too sure. I think Luke Thomas should be getting a decent run over the coming weeks. Mahrez or Tony? Mahrez, I reckon. Are you going to keep Mahrez this week? For Game Week 3, we're going to keep Mahrez. Game Week 4, we'll move him on. This is probably going to be the transfer plan. It's going to be Mahrez out and Ings out. And in terms of bringing him in, I'm probably going to bring in Benrahma instead of Mahrez Game Week 4. And then Calvert-Lewin instead of Ings for Game Week 4. That's going to be the Game Week 4 team. Then we can go Fernandes out and Obafemi out. And then bring in Rafinha instead of Fernandes. And that should give us, that's enough money to bring in essentially Cristiano Ronaldo or Harry Kane, whoever we want to. But for now, I'll just bring in Kane to show you guys what the team is going to be looking like. That's probably going to be the team for Game Week 5 or Game Week 4. That's the transfer plan of the next 2 weeks, essentially, to have Calvert-Lewin in for Ings, Kane or Ronaldo in for Obafemi, Rafinha in for Fernandes, and Benrahma in for Mahrez. Tony or Mbeumo. I think Mbeumo's probably better value at 5.5. Is a good move to triple captain Antonio. I'd hold off the triple captain for a double game week, to be honest. Should I keep Havertz or go for Rafinha? I'll go for Rafinha. Sanchez, Livramento, Shaw, Region, Sarr, Benrahma, Salah, Pogba, Lukaku, Antonio, and Harry Kane captain. You've brought Harry Kane in on captain, so that's ballsy, mate. I just gotta respect it. Mahrez to Benrahma now, or wait for this week and carry the transfer next week to make a better decision over international break. That's what I'm doing. I'm saving the 2 transfers for the international break. Got plenty of time to think about the transfers. I can take hits. There's plenty of time to do whatever I want to over the international break. So I want to have 2 free transfers for that week. So I'll probably be saving transfers if you can. Is Varane playing? If anyone has any information on whether Varane is playing, let me know. I'll have a look at the team lineups. All they give team use for Wolves clash. Let's have a look. The Reds are determined to head into their first international break of the season with a high after picking up 4 points after the 2 opening games against Leeds and Southampton. Scott McTominay is out after undergoing surgery. Also, guys, while we're here, thank you so much for 50 likes on the stream as well. Very much appreciate that. Wolves team news. That's that. Wolves team news. It is not. Oh, here we are. Varane was unused as a substitute at St Mary's last weekend and is yet to appear for his new club, while Sandro's come off the bench in both of the upcoming fixtures. Ole suggested the new centre-back has been impressive in training, but is playing his cards close to his chest over whether the new boys will feature. So it's a bit unsure what's happening there. Amati or Ayling? I'd start Amati this week for sure. Son, Salah or Bruno for this match day? I'd probably go... Sorry, try this one. Should I sell Dean? It's a tough one with Dean. I mean, Brighton away is not a bad fixture, so maybe just hold him for that. But it's a lot of money for him, then he's just not performing at all. Should I get Aubameyang? I'd probably stay away from Aubameyang. There's so many other premium options that are better than him. Ings to Bamford in 2 weeks. Yep, not a bad call. I can Ings to Bamford or Ings to Calvert-Lewin are both good choices. Son or Antonio captain. Maybe just Antonio. You could definitely, either one's a great choice. Do I start Livramento, Ayling or Amati? I'd probably start for Amati because Vestergaard is out for Leicester. When is Ronaldo expected to be put in FPL? Well, it's got to be over the coming days, I guess. I'm not too sure. FPL will put him in fairly shortly because it's going to be wanting to get Ronaldo the game. It's probably going to be after this deadline, obviously. You reckon DCL will play because he's injured toe? It's unsure at the moment. It is unsure. I'm not too sure whether he's going to play or he's going to be benched, but I have him starting on the team sheet for your guys' team. I'd have him starting if you have him. And if he doesn't play, so be it. Should I let Amati start or Dean? I'll probably still start Dean because he offers more attacking potential, but I think Amati's got a high chance of clean sheet. Souček to Benrahma. Yeah, I think that's a good transfer. Take Barnes out, got Benrahma. Taking a huge punt on captain Vardy. Yeah, I guess Vardy's going to be the differential captain that a couple of people that go for that have him. I think he's a good choice. Son or Antonio captain, that is the choice. I think Antonio may be just, but Son, I would expect him to get points. Start Sofal or Ayling, I'd start Sofal. Who are you captaining this week? This is the team that we're going to be lining up with. It's going to be Antonio on the captaincy, Fernandes on the vice captaincy. Should I captain the Son or Antonio? As I said before, probably Antonio. Bringing Rafinha for Barnes. I roll transfer. I'll probably roll the transfer because Barnes is facing Norwich away this week. I'll let him have this Norwich away fixture and then go from there. If Watkins plays, who is going to be benched? That's a good question. I think it's going to be one of the wingers that gets benched because I would expect Watkins to play in the left wing position or right wing position. I'll have a look at predicted lineups. by Fix. The Aston Villa predicted lineup. I think it's probably going to be El Ghazi maybe that gets benched. El Ghazi, Buendia. It's going to be El Ghazi or Buendia, I guess, but Traore's not available. Buendia's been slightly underwhelming so far. El Ghazi's made a good start, so it could potentially be Buendia, but I'm not sure. Do you think Barnes will start with Perez out? Maybe 3-4-2. Yeah, I do think Barnes will start. I think he should. If Perez is out, then 100%. Yeah, because he got the red card, yeah. So I do think Barnes will be starting. He hasn't got any return so far, but he's not necessarily been that bad for Leicester. I'll have a look at Leicester's predicted lineup at the moment. According to them, Barnes has got a 100% chance of playing. It's probably going to be Vardy, Albright and Madison, Barnes as their front four. Unless they start Kelechi. In which case, Albrighton just won't play and Kelechi will play. If you had Son, would you captain him? I was thinking that to myself before. I'd probably still captain Antonio. It's 100% El Ghazi. Oh, cheers, mate. Thank you. DCL, is he fit to start? Not too sure. Obviously, you picked up that injury. I'm trying to read any information on whether he's going to be available. It just says at the moment that Everton are waiting on Carvalho injury. If anyone has any information of whether he's going to be confirmed out or confirmed playing, pop in the chat. Start Livramento or Tony. I definitely start Tony. Is Raheem Sterling on starting 11 today or on the bench? It's hard to tell with every Man City lineup. You never know. He came off the bench obviously against Norwich, and same with Mahrez. They're not really competing for the same spot though. He could potentially start. It's so hard to tell. I think Raheem Sterling and Mahrez will probably start this week for City. Going for a punt, captain in Benrahma, and I think Crystal Palace midfield is yikes. Yeah, fair enough. Benrahma's probably going to be the differential option to Antonio as the captaincy. Ronaldo or Lukaku. I think Ronaldo is going to be a good option, and then you can maybe switch to Lukaku in Game Week 7. But I think Ronaldo may be slightly better. Gotta go eat lunch. Thanks for the content and the streams. No worry, mate. No worries. Anytime. All good. Have Trent, Ayling, Shaw, Amati, and Tsimikas. Can only start 3. Who should I start? I'd go Trent, Shaw, Amati as the starting 3. I love your new pre-season graphics this year. I know your new season graphics this year. Thank you so much, mate. Yeah, we put a lot of effort into the graphics at the start of the season, trying to get everything fresh and new for the new year, so I appreciate that you like them. Is Grealish and Kane starting? It's hard to tell with Grealish. I think he's due for a bench this week, Grealish, I reckon, because he started the first 2 matches, so it may be time for him to get benched. Amati or Livramento to start? I'd probably start Amati. Is it worth taking out Dean for Region? I wouldn't say it's necessarily worth it. If I could get any Spurs to defend, it'd probably be Dyer. Whether Romero comes in soon for Dyer or not. But maybe just hold Dean for one more week against Brighton. But he's been a bit underwhelming so far, Dean. Bruno and Ings to Kane and Greenwood. I wouldn't be bringing in Greenwood for sure. I think Greenwood's going to be getting a lot less minutes now that Ronaldo's starting, because Ronaldo is going to be preferred over him in striker. Amati or Livramento starts before Amati. Which City players should I bring in? I wouldn't bring in any Manchester City players, to be honest. I'd be getting rid of them at this point. Will Sancho and Varane start on Sunday? Well, I was just going through an article before. Ollie said Varane was training very well and he was looking very good in training, so whether he starts on Sunday, I'm not too sure. It said he was keeping his cards close to his chest, as he always does with his team lineups. So we'll have to see. I probably expect him to start. If I can give you my opinion, I'd say it's start. Hey mate, do you reckon it's worth starting Basuma or Duffy? If I had to pick one, I'd probably start Duffy if I had to pick one. Start Amati or Ayling, I'd start Amati. Raheem Sterling has a good record against Arsenal. Yeah, well that's good. So if he starts, which I do think he will, then yeah, not a bad choice. Captain Son or Antonio? We've gone with Antonio as a captain, so I'd have to say Antonio. But I think Son's a good option as well. Bruno and Ings to Benrahma and Kane. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the transfer plan that we're doing. except Kane will be Ronaldo over the next few weeks. Greenwood or Pogba. To transfer in, I wouldn't transfer in any of them. To start, I'd start Greenwood. Basuma is a yellow card magnet. Yeah, 100%. He is. All the CDMs tend to be yellow card magnets, to be fair. DCL injury, do I bring in on Basuma or Dean for him, or should I just keep him out? Should keep him on? I'd probably keep Cavallon on the field, and if he doesn't play, then he doesn't play. But if he does play, he's going to be a better option than both of them. Is it a good shout, Son, for captain? Yep, I think Son as a captain is going to be a nice shout. It could be a good differential compared to Antonio. I think the top 3 captains are going to be Fernandes, Son, Antonio is my guess. Anyone around Pogba's price? Oh, there's so many. They got Barnes has been a bit underwhelming. I wouldn't go for Barnes. I go for Rafinha, Benrahma. Sar's been good. Those are the 3. Also, yeah, those would be the main 3, I guess. Embuemo, maybe if he starts getting returns. Adama, maybe if he starts finishing. But I think Benrahma and Rafinha are the best options. Is Cancelo starting for City today? I'm not sure. If anyone has any Manchester City team news, then let me know. Mahrez or Tony to start? I'd start Mahrez, and if Mahrez doesn't play, then you've always got Tony to fall back on. Son or Antonio for a captain this week? We've gone with Antonio, so we'd have to say Antonio. Best 4.5 mil mid, probably Basuma, but if Liverpool buy him, then it wouldn't be Basuma. So if Basuma stays at Brighton, I think Basuma's going to be a good option. If he leaves, which I'm not too sure is going to happen, then maybe Gilmore 4.5. On the bench, we have got Brownhills at 4.5, but his starting minutes seem to be very unsure. So I'm not too sure about that. Ings, Antonio, or Mahrez for captaincy, I'd go for Antonio. Do you think DCL will start? I'm not too sure. There hasn't been too much news. As I said before, if anyone has any team news on DCL, let me know. Amati, Ward-Prowse, Dallas. To bench one, who do you think? Probably Ward-Prowse bench. I don't really rate Ward-Prowse as an attacking option. Is it good to bring DCL over Ings? Yeah, I think definitely. Hold Ings for Game Week 3. Bring in DCL for Game Week 4 onwards. That's probably what we're going to do. Shaw, Ayling, Dyer. 2 to start. I'd probably go for Shaw and Dyer. Here's the fixtures for this week. Shaw, he's got Wolves away, which is a tricky fixture, I guess. But I like this. I like the Spurs defense against Watford. I think that's going to be a nice match. Obviously, Leeds got Burnley away. It's an okay fixture, but I probably would expect Burnley to score. Play Amati or Tony. Choose one. I'd probably play Tony. Should I get Kane? I'd probably hold off Kane for the moment and see if Ronaldo is going to be available, because I think Ronaldo is going to be a better option. Best 3 premium says Kane a good shout for a wild card. I guess he's not a bad shout. If I could go for any Spurs attacker, I'd probably just go for Son at 10. He's 2.5 or 2.3 cheaper than Kane at the moment, so probably him. Dunk or Trent? Not sure about the clean sheet for Liverpool game. Yeah, I think, but Trent does offer better attacking potential, so you just got to go for that. So I'd still go Trent, but I can see why it's a tricky decision. Play Marty or Tony, choose one. I'd start Tony. Captain Antonio or Benrahma? Obviously, the safer option is going to be Antonio, because a lot of people are going to captain him, but Benrahma is also a definitely good shout. Best 3 premiums in the game right now. I think that's a question that a lot of people are asking themselves with their team selections over the next few weeks. In my opinion, the best 3 premiums in the game right now: Salah. I think Fernandes will not be the best premium anymore. It's going to be Ronaldo. I think it's going to be Salah, Ronaldo, and either Lukaku or Son. I think those are the 3 best premiums in the game. Whether you prefer Son or Lukaku, I'm not sure. They should score similar points, I expect. Ronaldo, captain Game Week 4. Yeah, definitely I think if he's going to play Game Week 4, then he's a great captaincy shout. I'm on Wildcard. Should I get Kane? It's difficult at the moment. I guess Kane's a good spot enabler for Ronaldo, so I guess you could go for Kane, yeah. Man City will get clean sheet. I think they will. Best player for this game week. In terms of top scoring player for this game week, I think it's going to be Antonio. Jota replacement for who? Are you saying bring in someone for Jota? Get back to me. Ings and Bruno to Vardy and Son. Yeah, that's a nice transfer plan. Don't mind that. I think Lukaku, Ronaldo and Salah. Yeah, I think those three premiums are great options. That's probably the three I go for. Obviously, Son or Lukaku is the option, but I think Lukaku may be slightly better. Sanchez or Schmeichel to start this week. To start, I go for Schmeichel. If you don't have either of them, then I go Sanchez. Torres and Trent, or Mahrez and Shaw. I wouldn't really want to go for any Manchester City play at the moment, so I'd probably hold off the Man City assets. Is it worth taking a 4-point hit to bring in Benrahma and DCL out? I wouldn't necessarily take a 4-point hit for it, but they are good transfers. Is it worth taking a 4-point hit to bring in Rama and DCL out? He scored 2 the other day, Kane in the League Cup, I think it was. Well, that's impressive. So if he's back to scoring ways, then I guess he's going to be a nice choice. You just never know with Kane after not playing in the Prem. Obviously, the Premier League is very different to the League Cup. Who has the best fixture this game week? If I could pick a one fixture to be the best, I'd say Spurs facing Watford at home, followed by West Ham facing Palace at home. Those are probably the two best fixtures. Ings and Bruno to Vardy and Son. Yeah, good call. Will Kane start? I do think Kane will start. What about Vardy? Not a bad option. I think if you're going to go Wildcard, I'd probably go for Kane and then go down to Ronaldo or up to Ronaldo depending on his price. Obviously, if I could go for Kane or Vardy, I'd go for Kane, so maybe hold off Vardy. Apparently, DCL's been carrying an injury. Yeah. If anyone has any team news for Everton on whether Calvert-Lewin's going to be ready to play, let me know. It says here at the moment they're not too sure. It's just a wait and see. Crystal Palace listed as defender, as midfielder. Any thoughts? Yeah, if Kouyaté plays minutes consistently, they're not a bad shout. Kane or Antonio as captain, that's a very difficult decision. Maybe Antonio just because Kane hasn't played too many minutes in the Prem this season. Barnes or Madison this week? If I had to start one, I'd start Barnes. I wouldn't necessarily bring in either of them just for this week because they face Man City the week after. Should I leave DCL on or take him off? I leave DCL on. Guys, if you have DCL on your team, I recommend leaving him on the field because if he's injured then he won't play at all, so you just get your first bench. But if he plays then he'll be a good option, so I'd definitely start him. Is Amati starting? Yeah, I do think he's going to be starting because Vestergaard just got ruled out. And Amati's been decent for Leicester the first two matches, so I think he'll be the preferred centre-back. Mahrez is not starting today, just out. Is that true? If Mahrez is not starting today, then I might just transfer him to Benrahma now. If anyone has any Man City team news, if anyone can confirm that Mahrez is not playing, let me know. It says De Bruyne is not playing at the moment for City. I don't know if Mahrez is not playing. I've used my free hit. Any underrated players to look out for this week? Son, nice option. Benrahma, all the usual options, I guess. Rafinha could be nice. What do you think of the Cats? Disappointing, mate. Geelong, they're very disappointing. They're going to go out 2 straight matches in the finals for sure. Who is the best 6 mil midfielder? Exactly 6 mil. Sarr, around that price. Rafinha, 6.5. Diego Vlana just reported. Son Antonio for captain. People have asked for the source. Wait till that FPL. Cheers, mate. Yeah, thank you, Football Addicts, mate. Just let me know if you can confirm that Mahrez is getting benched. Sanchez or Martinez? I go for Sanchez. Duffy or Livramento. If you're going to transfer one of them in, maybe Livramento because he's going to be a better long-term option. But Duffy should be getting some good returns over the next 3 weeks. Trencher or Diadine? Whom to leave on the bench? It's tough. I want to start all of them. I had all of them. Antonio, Bruno, or Salah as captain. Probably for Antonio, I go for. Wolves to lose to United. Yeah, I think Wolves will lose to United. We've been playing well. Obviously, we're a Wolves fan. We've been playing well, but Adama's letting us down with the finishing up top. We've got to take our chances. But I think United will be too clinical. I took a 4-point hit to bring Diaz into my team. Is that a good move? I don't necessarily like taking 4-point hits for defenders because they get 4 points for a clean sheet. So essentially it just rules out the clean sheet that they get, and you have to have Diaz get a clean sheet and get bonus points for it to be a good move, and then his starting minutes may be uncertain, so we'll see. If he can get bonus points, then it will prove to be a good choice. What do you think about Son as captain? Yeah, I think he's a good shout as captain this week. Livramento or Ayling this week? I'd probably start Ayling. DCL or Benrahma. If we have Ronaldo, do we keep him through the rough fixtures, or United go to Lukaku? I think now Manchester United have sort of turned into the similar thing as Man City, where they are the hard fixture now. With Ronaldo and striker, he can score against any team. He can score against Man City, he can score against Chelsea. It doesn't matter who he plays. If you had Son or Antonio, who would you captain? Probably just Antonio, but they're going to score very similar points. Heard the news DCL has a toe problem. Yeah, I'm not too sure whether he's going to start. I think he probably still will start. If he doesn't, so be it. But if you have him in the FPL team, I'd be starting him. If he doesn't play, then you just get the first bench option. Should I transfer out Greenwood? I'd hold on to him this week, obviously, but I'd be transferring him in out after that. Shaw or Dean start? I'd start Shaw. Can Ferran Torres be a good buy after City failing to sign a striker? Potentially, but I do think Jesus will take minutes off him as well. Benrahma, Ayling or Harrison, and Soufal. I'd go for Benrahma, Harrison, Soufal. I took a 4-point hit and bought in Benrahma and bought DCL out. If Diaz scores and keeps a clean sheet, would I get points for him for that? 100%. Well, you'd only get think about it, right? So you brought him in for a -4 hit. So essentially just take 4 points off Diaz's score, and then that'll be your profit for the week. Say I have a -8 points, then I play the wildcard. Would the -8 still count? No. You have to use the wildcard before the deadline, though. If you've already taken a -8, you have to take the wildcard now before the deadline. Otherwise, it will count as a -8. But any transfers that you make in the game week, if you hit the wildcard, you can take a -50. But if you hit the wildcard for that week, it all goes for free. Man City team news at FPL Flat. Yeah, if you can drop me the Man City team news, I'll just quickly look at the Man City team news. I'm not sure at the minute. Son or Antonio captain? I'd say just Antonio, but Son's definitely a good choice as well. Fornals in, Jorginho out -4. Oh, I'm not too sure about Fornals. I guess he's a nice option, and West Ham are scoring a lot of goals. There's probably better options at 6.5 like Benrahma. Ings or Antonio? Antonio. Who do we take Greenwood out for next game week? There's a lot of options. Probably Rafinha is probably the best one. Transfer in Reguilon, Tanganga or Dyer. That's a tough choice. Maybe Dyer at 4.5. Not too sure whose spot he's going to take. Reguilon's probably got the best job security there. Vardy or Antonio captain? Potentially Vardy. Potentially Antonio. Confirmed team news and injury updates. Man City vs Arsenal. It looks like it's just Stones, Foden, De Bruyne that aren't going to be playing. If there's any other news on Mahrez or team news on Mahrez, let me know. Are you Australian? Yes, we are Australian. Is Grealish a wise choice? Not a bad choice, but I would be looking to get rid of him over the next few weeks. Because Grealish will be getting rotated. Obviously, he's played the first 2 matches, but he's bound for rotation. Do you think Antonio is the best captain? I do. I think Antonio is probably going to be the best captaincy option this week. Ayling or Dean? It's tough. Maybe just Dean because he edges him in attacking threat. When is the best time to activate my wildcard, and do you get 2 wildcards for the season? Yeah, so you get a second wildcard after game week 18 and onwards. So you have to use your first wildcard by then. So however you want to set up your team from whenever you use your wildcard up until game week 18, try and prioritize your team for that period. Don't worry about it after that. Do you think it's worth risking it and going Son as captain even to have Antonio? If you want to go for the differential punt, then I'm not going to say no. I think it's a good choice. Should I transfer out Greenwood and Mahrez and bring in Son and Benrahma? Yeah, I think that's a good transfer plan. I like it. How about Wilson as a differential captain against Southampton Highland defence? Yeah, I didn't actually think about Callum Wilson actually. That could not want to be a bad choice. If anyone has any team views on Mahrez, it'd be nice to know, because if he's not going to start, then I'm probably going to get rid of him now. So if anyone has any team views on that, let me know. Kane, CR7 or Lukaku for Game Week 4 transfer? Probably, I guess, if Ronaldo's going to play, then Ronaldo. If he's not going to play, then Kane. But I think Ronaldo will play. Target out, Duffy in, good or bad? Probably a good transfer. Target's fixtures obviously have a nasty swing. Reckon Kane's a good pick? Yeah, I do think he's a good pick. 100%. You can't just forget about him because he's not played the first 2 matches. He was the second top scoring player last year, and he was absolutely immense. So definitely don't just turn a blind eye on Kane because Ronaldo's here. Kane is still going to be just as a good option. Keep Barnes and transfer Rafinha in. Keep Barnes or transfer Rafinha in. I'd probably just keep Barnes for this week because Norwich is a good fixture, and then Rafinha after that. Should I play Amati or Duffy over Trent? I'd definitely start Trent if you have Trent, and bench Amati Duffy. Is my team good? Sanchez, Shaw, Trent, Ayling, Tanganga, Bruno, Salah, Son, Grud, Benrahma, Antonio. Absolutely, mate. That's a great team. Very class team. I like the differential in Tanganga. Trying to log into Twitter and check. Cannot take screenshots here, mate. Yeah, I was looking at Twitter. I was looking at the Man City Twitter. Have a look at. If you can tell me any news on Twitter, then let me know. But yeah, I'm just trying to find something here on Mars. So yeah, dial up to 4.6 as well. I'm not sure about what's happening with Mars. Greenwood out, Jota in for Game Week 4. Is that a good move? I'm not too sure about Jota. I think Firmino is going to be taking minutes off him. I wouldn't be necessarily transferring Jota in. Never thought Target would lose his position to against Young. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing if you're Target, because you've lost a position to a 36-year-old, which is it's a bit underwhelming, to be honest. Cody or Kilman from Game Week 4? Probably Cody. I think he's going to be playing every game, and Kilman may not be. Thoughts on Sanchez and Raya? Keep a rotation for the next 6 weeks. Fixtures seem to set up well. Yeah, not a bad plan. I like it. What to do with Tony? Should I hold? I'd hold Tony for another week or so, see how he goes, and then transfer him out if he doesn't perform. If he does perform, then he's got 2 good fixtures after that. I'm using the wildcard. Who do I get in as a 7.5 midfield option? I'd probably go Benrahma or Rafinha for 6.5 would be the best choices. It's hard to tell. There's not too many other options at that price tag apart from them. Obviously Harvey Barnes, maybe if he can lift in Game Week 3 and 4, but he's not looking great at the moment. What are you doing with Barnes and Mahrez? At the moment, probably transfer them out next week. But for this week, hold them. I'm not too sure if Mahrez is going to play, though. Can someone let me know if they have any information? CR7, middle forward. I think he's probably going to be a forward. Amati or Ayling to start? I'd start Amati. Tony or Mount? Probably Tony. Greenwood or Jota from Game Week 4 onwards? Neither. I'm not too sure about either of their starting minutes. If I could choose one, probably Jota, because I don't think Greenwood's going to be getting that many starts at all. Mahrez for Benrahma, I'll hold. I want Mahrez against Arsenal, but already he's not going to start. That's exactly my dilemma at the moment, but I think I'm going to hold Mahrez if he starts. Who is the best striker to replace Tony with long term? Probably Calvert-Lewin, Calvert-Lewin, Antonio, Bamford, all those good options. You should go for Captain Mahrez if Mahrez starts because Arsenal's bad. Yeah, honestly, not a bad punt, but I'd back in Antonio. If Mahrez can start against Arsenal, that would be so good because Arsenal's defence is deplorable. Man City coming off 5 goals last week. If he starts, he will get points, 100%. Is triple captain Son a good option this week? I'd probably hold off. I'd wait for a double game week. Mings, Shaw, and Diaz, or Diaz, Shaw, Amati. Probably Diaz, Shaw, Amati. Mahrez rumoured to be on the bench. Man City informer feed just tweeted. That sucks, I guess. That sucks. Should I transfer out Buendia for Rafinha? Is my team good? Probably, yeah. I'd probably transfer out Buendia for Rafinha. Is my team good this game week? Sanchez, Trent, Shaw, Subal, Salah, Fernandes, Rafinha, Greenwood, Barama, Antonio, Ings. Yeah, it's a great team, mate. Is Grealish a good choice for captain? Probably not. I'd go for a safer captaincy option. Mahrez out for Rafinha. Well, until I can confirm that Mahrez is not playing. If Mahrez is not playing, then 100% get rid of him. If he is playing, then I'll hold him. Will Kane start? I do think Kane will start. Should I take a -4, taking out Bruno and Tony for Kane and Barama? Yep, good choice. Simicast, should I sell him? I'd probably sell Simicast. I think his price is only going to go down now. Rafinha, captaincy option? Probably not, so I think there's better options. Do I captain Son or Vardy? Probably Son. Benching Salah for... I'm not too sure about benching Salah, mate. Rafinha and Soufal or Jota and Duffy? One of each pair. I'd go for Rafinha and Soufal. Bruno will not take penalties and fouls, only Ronaldo. Yes, that is true. That's why Ronaldo's going to be such a good option. The free kicks and the pens are going to be awesome. If anyone has any Man City team news, let me know. Benitez is waiting to make a decision on the involvement of Dominic Calvert-Lewin at Brighton, with the strikers' training program still restricted by a toe problem. But Richarlison travels south following a productive week's work. Interesting. It says DCL's only a slight doubt tomorrow with a toe injury, but he's been carrying a toe injury for a while, so I wouldn't rule him out personally. Basuma thoughts. If he stays at Brighton, then he's going to be a good choice. I wouldn't necessarily go and transfer him in. It's good if you already have him that he's gone up in price. But if you already have a 4.5 mil midfielder, I wouldn't just go transfer a 4.6. Livramento or Duffy. Duffy's a better short-term option. Simicast will not start. Yeah, 100% agree. I think Robertson is fairly certain to start. Son or Kane or Benrahma Antonio to make more impact? That's a good question. I think once Kane comes back, I think Son and Kane may take it away, but at the moment Benrahma and Antonio are hot. Is DCL injured? He's a slight doubt for tomorrow's game. I think he still will play. Thoughts about captaining Fernandes? Fernandes is not necessarily a bad captaincy option. He's still Bruno Fernandes. Just because he's not got the best fixture this week doesn't mean you necessarily shouldn't captain him, because United are a difficult fixture for any team. Should I do Tony to Bamford with the exact right amount of money? Yeah, not a bad call. Not a bad call. I'll probably hold on to Tony this week and then bring in Bamford after that. Start Reece James or Livramento. Probably Reece James. I believe Tony. Yeah. Take out Barnes. I want to hold Barnes for this week against Norwich. It's a good fixture. I think DCL might start. Yeah, I think DCL will probably still start despite his injury. Captain Kane or Antonio? Probably Antonio. Bruno only needs at least one goal to be able to have 10 points, whereas Antonio needs more than one. So it's tough. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Midfielders obviously get a lot more points for the goals and bonus than forwards do. Thanks for all the helps and tips, man. No worries, mate. No worries. Thank you for the good luck. Best luck to you as well. It's my first FPL season. I have 2 free transfers, and I don't feel like doing any transfer. Is it okay? If you have 2 free transfers, then you have to use one because you're going to get one anyway next week. You cap it 2 free transfers per week. You can't go up to 3. So if you have 2 free transfers available, definitely use at least one. Mahrez, Ings, plus 1.1 mil to Benrahma, Lukaku for next game. Worth it? Yeah, 100% worth it. 100%. I think Son will blank. What's your opinion? I think he will get a return personally. It just depends if it's more than Antonio or not. Mount or Tony, and do you think Amati will be starting? Amati, I do think will be starting because Vestergaard's not going to be playing, so I think Amati's going to start, and I think Tony's a better option than Mount. Kane is back, so Son is not value. I wouldn't say that's the case. Son is just as good value with Kane back in the team, if not better. Do you think Kane will start? Yes. Mings will have had harder fixtures after game week 3. Yeah, I'd probably get rid of Aston Villa assets after game week 3. I have Sergi Canos playing. Should I sub him off for Dennis? I wouldn't necessarily sub him off. I think Canos probably has the better fixture. Let's check that. Brentford versus Villa. It's not a bad fixture. I think Dennis versus Spurs. I wouldn't be starting Dennis. I'd probably start Canos. Kane will start for sure. Yeah, I think so. Tony or Bamford? Bamford. DCL and Antonio with Ings and Tony. I'd prefer DCL and Antonio for sure. Adam Armstrong is a guaranteed start and he will be involved in all Southampton's goals. He's 6 mil. Yeah, well, Antonio Armstrong's going to be a good option at 6 mil. He's going to be good value. If he can keep getting on the score sheet, then he's nice. He was probably slightly unlucky not to get himself a goal. He missed a couple of big chances in their most recent game. Newcastle away is a decent fixture. Obviously, Newcastle did concede 4 in their first home game of the season. So if he keeps getting returns, he's going to be a great value option at 6 mil. He will also add a spanner into the works. Tempted by Ronaldo for the Newcastle at home fixture. Yeah, 100%. If Ronaldo's going to start for game week 4, that is a nice choice, especially for captaincy as well. Is it worth to take out the -4 for Son? It's probably a bit risky because you're banking on Son getting more than 6 points essentially. Ronaldo will cost 12.5 mil. I think that's going to be the price he's going to be at. My team is Sanchez, Arnold, Shaw, Amati, Bruno, Benrahma, Salah, Rafinha, Antonio. Captaincy, Ings, Wilson, Thought. That's a class team. It's a very nice team. Can't fault that. If there's any other Mahrez team news, let me know, please. Change your captain to Salah? Probably not. I'd probably hold off Salah this week. Should I keep Ferran Torres? Maybe just for this week because he got benched last week. He may start this week. But I don't like having Man City players, to be honest. I sort of wish I didn't have Mahrez in the team to start the year.
Just check fixtures. I think that's all good.
Amati's starting.
Yeah, I know, but like, it's a given. Because the next week Veltman will start, is that correct?
Change your captain to Ronaldo's price is 12 mil. Check Twitter. I don't know if his price has been released yet, but if someone can check that, that'd be cool. Captain Son, yeah, not a bad shout. I think Son could be a good choice for captain this week. Play Diaz or Basuma. 100% play Diaz. Should I captain Kane, Antonio, Son, or Fernandes? Probably Antonio, I reckon. Antonio or Son, I think, are the best options for captain this week. What's your bench? Our bench at the moment is Brownhill, Obafemi, and Veltman.
The dead bench.
Yeah, I don't know if any of those players are going to be starting this week, to be honest. So we kind of need everyone to be playing, especially Mahrez. Because if he doesn't, then we're going to have 10 players take to the pitch unless Brownhill gets subbed on last minute or somehow starts. Salah to Son captain and Ings to Vardy for a -4. Wild can get before, yeah, nice. Kane or Antonio captain? I think Antonio. Got a feeling that Benrahma will blank though. It's tough. I think you got to put the feelings aside. Crystal Palace at home is a good fixture either way. This is my first time playing FPL. Why is Simicast's price 4.2 but I can only sell 4.1? So for every 0.2 million that a player goes up, you get to sell them for an extra 0.1. It's kind of weird how that works. It's a bit confusing. But you only get to sell them for half the price they go up at. So even if he goes to 4.3, you can still only sell him to 4.1. You have to wait till he goes to 4.4 to sell him for 4.2. Which Man City player should I transfer? Maybe Diaz or Grealish? I'm assuming I mean transfer in. If I could transfer in any City player, it'd only be Diaz. Duffy or Simicast? Duffy, should I start Simicast or Sofal? Sofal, Simicast is likely not to play. You can sell the average if the price rise 0.6. Yeah, exactly. If Barnes doesn't give any points against Norwich, will you transfer him out or keep him? I will transfer him out. If he doesn't get any points against Norwich, I'll transfer him out. I'm probably going to transfer him out either way at some point in like the next 2 game weeks. So we are going to be wrapping up the stream shortly, guys. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in. If you guys did enjoy the stream, chuck it. Give it a like if you haven't liked it already. Thank you so much for everyone that joined the stream. If you have any final questions that we can't answer on stream, message us on Twitter or Instagram. Once again, thank you so much for all the likes and subscribers on the stream. It's been absolutely awesome. Thank you everyone that's become a part of the channel as well. Looking forward to Game Week 3 and Game Week 4 and onwards. We are going to be uploading a knee-jerk reaction tomorrow on Sunday. And then we're going to be getting up with the buy, hold, sell and team selection Monday and Tuesday as well. So stay tuned for those. Thank you so much for everyone that's tuning into the stream once again. If you have any further questions, Twitter or Instagram, you know where to find us. That being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.